Hi, Mickey here from Flipping Spain. All right, this is going to be our first video of an actual live deal. So I've done some comparison videos to give you an idea of the types of things that are available here, but now I want to do a few videos on projects that are available now and are ready for an investor to come in and turn them into something amazing. And the reason why I want to do that is one, just to give more examples of what is possible here in Spain, but also because I can't do all these deals. So if you see something you like and you're interested in doing it, then give me a shout and we'll see what we can do. So this first deal we're going to look at is a property I have talked about in my video about Ezcaray. It is an old building. It is an apartment on the second floor. There is also an apartment on the third floor, and we'll talk a little bit about buying them both because I think that is where the real opportunity lies. And we're going to look at what price we should buy it at, what the potential renovation options are, what the potential income earning options are. Then we'll wrap it up with a look at the numbers on the spreadsheet. So let's get started. The property we're going to look at is this building here, the white one in the middle. There is an apartment for sale on the second floor, the European second floor, and then there is also an attic apartment for sale. So this one is listed at $70,000. It is 86 meters squared, which is pretty good size. It's listed as a 3-bed, but it's got a little more potential than that. But it is basic. It needs everything inside, as you will see. It's got a kitchen and a bathroom in name only, and it says individual heating, but it actually has no heat. There is also this attic apartment, which we've looked at in a previous video as well, which is for sale for $40,000. It is almost as large, 75 meters squared, also 3-bedroom, 1 bathroom with a kitchen. It actually has a functional kitchen and a functional bathroom. It does not have heating throughout. It has a fireplace, and it's in much better shape than the one on the second floor. However, it does not have a certificate that you can live there, which we've talked about before. So that makes it tricky because if the other owners in the building don't want you to live there, then all they have to do is say, hey, you can't actually be sleeping up there, even though it's absolutely livable. So those are our two opportunities. So let's do a little walkthrough of the apartment on the second floor. As you can see, the kitchen just needs to go. And in fact, I would like to relocate it. The kitchen, when you come in the front door, which would be just to your left now, is to the right. And then the bathroom is right next to it. So all the plumbing is clustered in one area. There is this little dispenser here, which could be used as a second half bath, or with one of my layout ideas, it actually could be punched through and become a hallway. And then this main hallway would be where we would put a second door if we wanted to split this into separate units. So then we've got another room to the right, which is a bedroom, but I think it should connect to the kitchen. Then we have this extra large room with windows just on the front facing side. The ceiling height's not fantastic, but there's a lot of character. So here's the hallway going back. And what doesn't make sense is there are rooms to the left with no windows, and then rooms to the right with windows. So all you would have to do is move this hallway to the left to get really big rooms that you could potentially do en-suites in, or just have more space to relax. When you hear some of the ideas, you'll see why we'd want to do that. But as we carry on, we'll get an idea. So you can see these just dark spaces, and it's all just brick, so it'd be really easy to reconfigure. And then these are really good sized rooms. They do only have one window, and it's a smaller window, but still a lot of character, and you could dress it up and make it look good. So that's the apartment downstairs. And we'll also do a quick walkthrough of the upstairs apartment. So when you come in to the left, there's a door to the storage area, which again is space that could be utilized. Then you have a bedroom here, another bedroom here. There's this really big chimney block right in the center. I'd be curious to see if it could be taken away because I don't see anything downstairs that correlates to it. As you can see, the kitchen is fairly functional. The bedrooms all have windows, which is one of the requirements for habitability, because you just have to know if this property can ever be considered an actual dwelling. If not, then you absolutely have to, if you're going to buy it, buy both and then connect them so that you can make use of the space in a legal way. These are both pretty reasonably priced, $70,000 and $40,000. That's $110,000 together. Plus, add your 10% for taxes and fees and things. You're still coming in at $110,000 for almost 200 square meters in the same building that are adjacent to each other, which is primo. And it's right in the center of town. Great location. They've been for sale for a while, and there are some pros and cons to both of them, so it's always worth negotiating. Plus, when we look at the spreadsheet and we look at our sale and our rental options, we'll see that it'd be better, of course it's always better, to get it for a little bit less. So my target would be the $40,000 on the attic is actually fine. It's going to be really hard for them to sell. So you may as well come in at 30 or 35 and try to knock a little bit off. And then the apartment on the second floor is listed at 70. And I would probably want to get that for about 55. And the numbers will make sense again when we look at the spreadsheet later. Next, let's look at our rehab options. This is the existing floor plan for the apartment on the second floor. You saw this in the video walkthrough, but you come in through the door here, you have the kitchen to the right, bathroom straight ahead, and then we've got rooms here all along, and then these rooms without any windows here. So clearly this is wasted space that needs to be reconfigured. My one concern is that all the plumbing is here in the bathroom, and then there's a bit here. The apartment above has a bathroom here, and I don't know what the apartment below has, but I've seen some outflow pipes down in the bottom, which indicate that there's also plumbing in the middle. So ideally, if we can get some plumbing along here, we have a lot of options. If not, it all has to be clustered along this wall, and we can work with that too. So I want to look at two options. One is where we just reconfigure to make the most of this space. And then two is where we actually split this into two units. Here we see one option that would make the most use of the space that already exists. First thing we'll do is we'll take the kitchen out and turn it into a master bedroom with an ensuite, which we should be able to do since it adjoins the main bathroom here. Now we have a 2-bath apartment. If we take out this storage unit and all these walls here, then we can have a very open plan kitchen diner. And I think we'll get away with doing a kitchen here since again, we're on that same wall with the plumbing. This room only has windows that face the street. So by connecting these, we still have light coming in on two sides and we have a nice big space. This does make a smaller room here, but since we still have 1, 2, 3 main and very large bedrooms, then this can be a study or a guest room, or we could also just opt to leave it open plan so we have this really huge living space. You can then make a hallway here and then enter into that first bedroom here and then enter into another master suite with a bath, assuming we can get the plumbing over in this location, and then here. So one of the thoughts for income is to make this a sort of retreat type center where you're renting out each room, and that would allow the host to live over here in a somewhat self-contained space. And then you've got your guest bedrooms on the other side, and you've got bathrooms for each of those. And you could do a sitting area or a little reading and writing desk, which just makes it that much more appealing to our audience. So that's one option if we want to keep it all one unit. Now, there is also the opportunity to split this into two. In that instance, we're going to keep the kitchen and the bath where they are and keep this bedroom as it is as well. All this outlined in blue is a 1-bedroom unit. What we've done here is take out that storage room, add a wall here, so that then we can do the main entrance coming from the stair is here, and then we have entrance department number 1 here, and you use that former storage room as a hallway to access the bedroom. And then you do another door here into the second unit. Now again, this presumes we can do plumbing along this wall, but we've done the same thing. We've done a kitchen with an open plan living dining area. We have 1 main bath, but it can be quite spacious. Then we have a bedroom here, and we either have a large bedroom here just to make it a 2-bed unit, or we could rejig this hallway so that we have a smaller bedroom here and a 3rd bedroom here. So we could get 4 bedrooms and 2 whole apartments out of this space. This option is great for if you want to keep it and have a unit to live in yourself and then a unit to rent out without having to share common areas. And that leads us to our spreadsheet. So let's take a look at the numbers. First of all, we'll just look at the 3-bedroom since we just looked at the layouts. Now I'm assuming a higher price than my target price of $55,000, just because I want to do worst case scenario when I'm estimating numbers. So we won't have a mortgage on it. Utilities will depend on the type of rental, but utilities tend to be quite basic, so I'm not really worried about it. We've only got $28 a month for the cleaning fees and things for the association. The taxes are quite low. I've done high maintenance reserves, not high, but reasonably high because it is still an old building and you just want to figure that in. It does have a newly repaired roof because there was a storm a couple of years ago. So we know that the association is able to take care of things like that. So here again, I'm just assuming costs for utilities and supplies. Those could vary a bit, but we've got wiggle room in the numbers. So this is the important section, the revenue section. So I think as a furnished short-term rental, based on other Airbnb listings and things, it's quite a popular holiday town, that it would be very reasonable to charge $1,500 for a 3-bed, 2-bath apartment of that size in the middle of town. So that gives us quite a good cash flow per month. And then long-term monthly rent, what I'm doing is I'm looking at targeting sort of digital nomad type people that want a nice furnished room and are willing to pay for it. So we've done an estimate of $750 a month per room, which there's nothing else to rent in town, and it's by far the cheapest thing you're going to get. And it's really difficult for those types of people coming in to find rentals or to get landlords to agree to rent to them. So I think we can definitely bump up the price. We're also comparing it sort of globally that, people are used to paying $1,000, $1,500, even more for a single unit in places like Barcelona. So maybe they want to come to a quieter town and pay less in rent, but still be in a beautiful environment and have the things they need. So even with a bit of vacancy, we're still looking at a whopping amount of money per month. These are our annual nets. So when we come down and we look at all in cash price of this, and as a short-term rental, we're making about 8%. As a long-term rental, we're making about 19%. So even if we fudge those numbers one way or the other, in either scenario, we should come out with a nice, healthy return on our cash. Now, if you were to leverage this, you would have a mortgage payment. However, you would have less cash in the deal. So then, of course, your return on your cash on cash will be higher. Say we add on the attic. We didn't even talk about that renovation option. There are a lot of options. I think you could make a really great sort of co-living, co-working type of space where you utilize the attic as office areas. You could do the kitchen up there and have a lounge area up there, and you'd have an extra bathroom plus just some hangout space. You could just use that for common areas, which then you could dedicate the whole downstairs to bedrooms, and you could probably do 5 or 6 quite comfortably. So that opens up a lot of options. Even if we look at them independently as 2 separate units, we come in again high at the ask price of $40K. And then I just rent this for slightly less because it's 3rd floor with stairs and it is an attic. But long-term monthly rent, you could drop that down to about $500, and I still think you'd get takers. So if you add these together, 23,000 plus 14,000, that's pretty good. And again, we've got our cash on cash here because the reno would not be a lot upstairs unless you decided to reconfigure. We're looking at very similar short-term rental returns and then higher long-term rental returns. If we scroll down and look at the rehab numbers in detail, this is our total purchase price plus taxes. I've done 50,000 here. 60,000 would give you really nice furnishings, a little higher end. Our all-in. Our resale price, this is a very low estimate. I think you'd come in about 145. So you could still make a good chunk of money, even just flipping it and renting it. And I think you'd probably get a higher price than that just because of the quality of finish. And the same thing with the above. It's an attic unit with no stairs, so it's not going to go for very high. Again, I think this is a low estimate given what's available on the market there. Might not move as quickly, but you've added value just by obtaining the certificate of habitability. So it could be a nice, quick, cheap flip to do. I mean, that's not that much cash to plug in. and get a turnaround. And if you can rent it while it's for sale, then you'll make a little extra cash as well. So all in all, the numbers look pretty good on this to me. I think it would be a really fun project just to do the second floor apartment, but it would be a super fun project to do the two together. And that way you just have a little more control over what's happening in the building. And so ideally, that would be the way to go. So that was a look at a real live opportunity here as an investment in Spain, a flip opportunity. It's one I'm actually really excited about because I think it's something that the locals don't necessarily see the potential of. Whereas someone who's from overseas and is catering to potential visitors from overseas can really see the charm and the potential to do something really unique, like the co-living, co-working option. And for all those reasons, I think it's a great deal. All right, I will have more of these coming soon, so stay tuned and I'll see you in the next video.